Cody, right here. Obviously not the name we expected to see against Malcolm, but I guess how's life been since your last fight? Because it's been more than a year since we got to see you in here. So from there to now, how's life been?
I had some tough setbacks this year. Couple injuries that took me out of a fight earlier in the year, and then it just been like back-to-back bad luck. I'm just grateful to be back on this card, and I actually asked for this fight. The UFC were looking to match me up, and it was 4 weeks had gone by, and I hadn't heard anything from him. And then when I seen Malcolm's opponent pulled out, I had a friend message me and get in touch with my manager, and she got right onto it, and we actually asked for this. So very grateful that he accepted the fight too, and we could get it done on potentially the biggest card of the year. So super excited.
What was it about Malcolm that you wanted this fight so badly?
I was looking for a matchup, and it just made sense. I'm here to fight anyone. I want to fight all the bantamweights. I want to prove to them that I'm the best. And I feel like he's probably a guy that they struggle to match up to because, he's on 3 back-to-back first-round KOs. I mean, scary dude, right? Not many people probably putting their hand up to fight him. So when I seen the opportunity, I said, fuck it, I'll fight him, So just got in touch, and that was it.
Is this kind of best-case scenario for you? Because I know, fighting Topuria in Australia would probably be a big deal, but to come fight another guy with all this hype in the biggest arena in the world has got to be best case for you, right?
Yeah, I think so, 100%. He's more. We've only seen Topuria in there once. He's a good fighter as well, but Malcolm, he's been more impressive, I feel. So this is a tougher fight, I feel, than Topuria, and I'm excited for that.
And what do you make of his skill set in there? Because like you said, we've seen him do the same thing to 2 opponents, so we don't really, in the UFC at least, we don't really know what else he can bring. So what do you make of his skill set?
Yeah, super powerful, very skilled, crafty fighter on the feet. You haven't seen him really in many grappling exchanges yet. But yeah, he's a great fighter. I think he's a phenomenal fighter. And that's why I want to fight him, because I want to fight the best.
And I think a lot of people, when they hear short notice fight, they think you're just getting off the couch. But, your teammate just had a big win last month. So I guess how active were you in, preparing him that this was kind of a smooth transition into a fight camp?
Yeah, this isn't short notice at all. I wouldn't have asked for it if it was short notice. If I was on the couch, I wouldn't have been like, hey, I'll fight that guy in 4 weeks. Probably wouldn't have been ready, So, I try to be, if I don't have an injury or anything like that, me and, like you said, my training partner, Kulin Salkild, we are always in the gym training year-round and ready to take opportunities like this. Like you said at the start, it's been a year since my last fight. I needed to get a fight in before the end of the year because I've just kind of fallen off, and I need to come back with a bang and show everyone what I'm capable of. And, hopefully I can get the job done. And after Saturday night, people will know who I am as well.
And then just last one for me, I think I know your answer, but can I get your thoughts on the main event between Jack and Islam?
I said it before, I'm biased because I'm obviously Perth dude. However, even if I wasn't, I still pick Jack. I think that he's going to KO Islam as much as Islam. He's a phenomenal fighter too, but I think that welterweight's a big jump up, 15 pounds compared to lightweight. And Jack, he's great at that weight. You've seen him in the performance against Bilal. Bilal, heavy wrestler, couldn't really get him down, do much, And then Jack's a guy that can finish you even when he's tired. His conditioning's phenomenal. He's got a chin. He won't be, Islam might get him down a couple of times, but I don't think he'll be able to hold him down, in my opinion. And then I think as the fight goes on, he starts to slow down, and Jack still carries that power through in the 4th, 5th round and probably finishes him then.
Cody, to your left.
Hey, how you going?
Good, how you doing?
Good.
So obviously he's the guy that's getting a lot of hype. He's, as a lot of people would call, the A side. He's the one that the UFC put on the card. You're the replacement. He's the one that does the big long interview with Ariel Helwani. That said, do you think the UFC's pushing the wrong guy and you should be getting that kind of treatment?
Well, I haven't proven myself enough yet, so I feel like he's earned that respect that he's getting and that exposure. I feel like, and they're pushing him for a reason. But also, I mean, they wouldn't have put this fight together if they didn't think I was capable as well. So, to a lot of casuals, maybe they think that, I'm, like you said, not capable or something like that, maybe underdog or overlooked a little bit. But, I mean, they're casuals for a reason, right?
To follow up on that, If you look at the betting line, it's actually a pretty close line. So it means a lot of the sharps are actually betting on you. So what do you think that says about your skill set, that this guy's getting a lot of hype, but even Vegas is saying that you have a real good shot?
Well, yeah, I think that, if you're looking at like multis and things like that, and, you put together a multi with me and Jack on it, you're probably going to get good returns. It's worth the risk because, like the people who know what they're talking about, they do value my skill set, and that, they probably do think that, I think a lot of people, especially who don't know me, would be betting on Malcolm for this fight. Especially with what he's done previously. And then, people who really know and have watched and seen what I'm capable of, they know that especially if I am an underdog, they know that's a good bet, I think in Australia, a lot of people are betting on me and Jack with this one.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Cody, back here.
Yo.
You recently mentioned staying within reach of your weight class to make opportunities like this a little bit more feasible. So how important is it for you to kind of stay within the range of the weight and stuff like that so that opportunities like this are a little bit easier for you to take?
Well, I just think if you're a professional athlete, there should be no excuse, Are you a professional or are you, like, just doing it for fun? Like, if you consider yourself a professional athlete, you look at any other sport, they play most weekends, right? So you have to keep your body in shape year round, I feel, and if you blow up too much, like, well, you're an idiot. Why are you doing that? Like, if you need like 3-4 months to like lose the weight, it's like you're probably in the wrong weight class, I reckon, or you're not disciplined enough. It's just when guys struggle with the weight, I see as a lack of discipline, to be honest.
Now, between you and Malcolm, there's 18 victories, 11 by knockout. How confident are you that with your high finishing rate as well, you could be the first one to defeat Malcolm Allmaker?
Yeah, obviously super confident. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here, Like I said, it's a tough fight, really tough fight. And I think I've seen a few people posting that this is like low-key going to be the biggest banger on the card. And I feel the same way. I know that he said similar things in interviews and stuff like that. And, yeah, I feel like it's a win-win for both of us. It's going to be fireworks from the start to the end, If you watched any of my fights, if any of you have watched any of my fights, there's not been a boring one yet, and I promise I will never be in a boring fight.
And last for me, obviously Saturday night's a huge night for your country back in Australia. A lot of people are going to be watching, tuning in. How special is it to have the opportunity to kick off this night? They're going to be watching your fight first, and then, of course, Jack's fight. So how special is that to kind of have the opportunity to lead the way, spark the night, if you will?
Yeah, honestly, there's a story. So before Jack got in the UFC, he fought on an Eternal card and knocked out a guy called Alden Bates. And he was the main event, and I was having my pro debut, and I was the co-main event. So we were in the locker room together. Jack's always led the way, even on the regional scene, and I've always undercutted him. So it's a privilege and an honor to be able to open up, the prelims with Jack once again on the main card. And, yeah, like you said, it's kind of a surreal moment for me, and it does feel very special, but it also feels very natural because I feel like, I've been here before. That was only 5 years ago, I feel, 5-6 years ago. So, it's like history repeating. It's awesome.
I'll piggyback off of that. I was going to say 5 years ago, October 10th, 2020, that's when you made your pro debut. So now to be here in New York City, kind of on this card, undercarding him, as you said, competing at Madison Square Garden, like how special is that? What can you make out of the past 5 years, how quick it's been, to now be here?
Yeah, well, at a young age, this was my dream. So, I'm not surprised. That's always what I've wanted to do, since day one. I have always wanted to be in the UFC, and I always seen myself fighting, on the biggest platform in the world, on the biggest stage. So, yeah, for me, it's, I feel super comfortable, and I can't wait. You guys are going to see me more, which is awesome.